All right, hi Faith. Okay, and Anna as well. All right, so I have the rough idea of the story. Okay, so I'm going to send this over to you guys. Okay, now the very first task I would like to have for Ifrat, okay, is to be able to create a story, okay, that actually fits what kindness movement is actually asking for. Okay, okay. All right. So it's going to be quite okay. So right now, okay. So I already have a story. Okay. So my brief version of the story is just this. All right. That is able to fit what Singapore Kindness Movement is asking for. So what the objective of the show? It has to meet this. All right, multiculturalism is important in Singapore not just because the country is diverse, but because diversity requires people to actively build trust, understanding, and a sense of shared belonging. Then people gravitate towards those who are similar to them, but we shouldn't be living in our own bubbles. Okay, so blah 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 blah. So every single point has to be inside this story. All right. So, but for okay, I have written a story. Okay, so because we don't have time to slowly go and think about it. So, but for this person, Ifrat, what we will need from her, okay, is to be able to be creating a story relating to food that is able to meet the objective. Okay, so every point must be inside. So Faith had already done this. So Anna, if you are not if you don't understand, please ask from Faith. Okay, Faith. So the very first thing I need your help on Monday is to create a task for Ifrat. Okay, so we keep it simple. All right. So for Ifrat, we don't need to introduce goal.cc.academic to her. We just need we just pass her the task over through Discord will do. Alright, so we don't need to do things much more complicated. Alright, so it's just the first 3 days as a test if she is able to get it. Alright, so Faith have understood that every single point we need to be inside the story. Like um okay, for example, diversity requires people to actively build trust. Okay, diversity requires people to understand each other and a sense of shared belongings. Okay, so here there's already 3 points. So first point is actively build trust. Second point is understanding. Third is a shared sense of shared belongings. Okay, and fourth is to we are usually gravitate towards those who are similar to us, but we shouldn't be living in our own bubble. Okay, these four things already. Um, Fifth thing is how to navigate a diverse society. How are we able to form meaningful relationship? Blah blah blah. You can see that all these points it needs to be in the story. All right. So fifth, okay. So you will have to send her this, okay, and then so all you need to do, Faith. Okay. So although I have a story, but I would like to test if she has the ability to make it. All right. So you can tell her that it is going to be a comedy. So share the two videos with her. All right, so the video includes the three videos. Okay, Mr. Bean, the Boots. I can't remember how to spell, and of course, the last one is Nanta. All right, so share the three links and tell her that the it should be like this kind of comedy. All right, so it should be on racial harmony. Okay, using food to explain racial harmony. So of course, Faith, you can share let us sing together to her to allow her to have a good idea on how we actually make good use of music to talk about racial harmony in our first show. All right, so this one is going to be the second show. So what is going to happen is okay, how the story work. So so Faith, you will be working with her a lot on Monday. Okay, so I think So and now you can understand this story so that you are able to do the proposal. All right, so we'll have a meeting on Monday so to plan out the rest of the week. Okay, so the deadline is Thursday. So this one is a hard deadline. There is likely no more continuation. All right, so how the story works is okay, so Faith, okay, you can just tell her that, okay, so give her the research on food, okay, fusion food in Singapore. Okay, that are inspired by, okay, the three race, okay, Chinese, okay, four race, Malay, Indian, and Eurasian. Okay, the Angmos. All right, so the fusion food is actually okay, so tell her that we want to talk about a story on the fusion food. All right, so this is a very good topic. All right, so you can say that you can have 3 to 5 characters. So what is going to happen is we want to have a scene whereby there are three race. All right. So say that this is optional. They can not necessarily be a three store holder. Okay, so if she has a better idea or something totally different, but it has to be about food and fusion food. Okay, it has to be this. All right. So any other ways she can do it on her own. Okay, but this is our idea. So okay, so this is our idea. So let's just say, okay, so just also do warn her that she can use ChatGPT. Okay, but again tell her that ChatGPT should aid her, not not in a way whereby she just dump everything to ChatGPT and expect to get something good. All right, so if she also tell her that this is going to be a 3-day trial, if not, we will not be hiring her in the long term. Okay, so okay, so what happens is you can just tell her that I need a store. Okay, this is a good start. Okay, 3 hawkers. They are Chinese, the Malay, and the Indian. Okay, and then you can just tell her that there is actually a tourist who is looking to buy food from one of the store. Okay, and then their friends. Okay, they are somehow like a bit up to you. Okay, so it can be friends, they can be not friends. All right, so but they are competing with a fast food restaurant. Okay, so fast food restaurant, okay, to win the tourists. Okay, or it can be a judge or something like that. Okay, it's up to her. All right, so just give her this. Okay, and tell her that it has to combine with this. Okay, sorry, this point. All right, so she has to combine with this point. Okay, so like again, you have to explain that every single point needs to be inside. Okay, and it has to be a comedy and how it can be made into a comedy, something like that. Okay, so tell her that we expect something very good and progressive in the first day already. Okay, so and not don't have to do much orientation with her. All right, so just give her the team logger, ask her to install, and straight away start on with this. Okay, so yeah, so okay, so how okay, so this is just the task for her. So tell her that so Faith, you might want to explain to her how stores in Singapore actually works, and then just tell her this. Yeah. So Singapore many food are fusion. So I sent you the link already, Faith. You can just send it to her. Right. So if not, this okay, we can share this. Okay, so I can share this. Okay. Okay, so proposals. Okay, so I can share this. Okay, so she can see what do I mean by fusion food. All right. So okay, so then after where am I? Okay, so just explain how my story work. Okay, so okay, so scene one. All right, so okay, so the first scene is about eggs. Okay, so the Chinese they use very complicated cooking techniques. In fact, Chinese has the most different types of cooking techniques. Okay, so for example, okay, so let me just go over here. Uh, okay, so okay, so we have steam, we have fried, we have um okay, fried, okay, steam like I said, okay, braise, deep frying, pan frying, poaching. Okay, so actually there are about 20 more. Okay, or just cooking. Okay, so okay, and we use a lot of different kinds of tools. Okay, so there are close to 20 hundreds of types actually. Okay, they have wok, we have those when we make buns, those in the wooden container. Okay, we have clay pots. Okay, um all kinds of things actually. There are a lot of very very complicated, so I'm thinking that so the first the tourists ordered eggs. Okay, so Faith, we need your help to actually pinpoint, help Emna on the roughly where. So this one I just put it into the what we are going to submit on Thursday. Okay, so we are going to ask audience how to do it, how we should behave, how the actors should behave. Okay, and then along the way we will ask the audience to guess what is the name of the dish after the fusion situation. All right. Okay. So the tourists ordered eggs. Okay. So what is going to happen is in my scene. All right. So this one, please don't tell Ifrit. Okay. So they are going to have a table over here and a table over here. All right. So like on the table, there will be a few eggs. Okay, and there will be fishes as well. Okay, so here you got three fish. Okay, so here you got three fish. All right. So and then there will be one chicken here and one chicken here. Or so what is going to happen is first they will order eggs. Okay, so Chinese will show the it's very very complicated. So Malay food they tend to be a lot more complicated, very uh, uh, strong in flavor. So they are going to add a lot of ingredients to slowly boil it. Okay, to make the aroma and the food to be extremely thick. Okay, so this is very sweet, very thick. Okay, so this is Malay style, and then Indian style. What is going to happen is we are going to okay. So Chinese they will use very complicated cooking techniques. The Malays will make use a lot of ingredients. Okay, so the joke scene is that they are going to take huge basket or a huge pail of things. Okay, and Indian they are going to make everything simple. Okay, so in Singapore, right, then we have this famous dish called prata. All right, so Indians, it's actually a modification. It's a local dish that is modified from chapati. Okay, so and now you should know what is chapati very clearly. All right, so when it comes to Singapore, it's actually made into transformed into prata. It's actually a Indian Muslim kind of dish. All right, so and it's a mix of Indian and Malay cuisine. Okay, so Indians, so to make a joke lah, so everything about them is actually going to be prata. Okay, I can show you the image. Okay, so I just had this before I did this video. Okay, so this is okay, so you can see this is actually mixed with egg. Okay, and you have the curry as well. So the joke is that Indians they will have everything very simplified, everything to be related to prata. Okay, so for example, the tourists will ask for egg prata for eggs. Okay, so they will put the eggs inside the prata. Okay, and secondly, they ask for fish, so they will put the fish inside the prata, and which is true. Okay, which is true. And then the third one, they ask for chicken, so they will put the chicken inside the prata. All right, so you can see the joke. All right, everything is prata related. Everything just put inside the prata. Okay. Okay, so this is going to be the joke. Okay, and of course, fast food, everything fast, simple, and appealing somehow. Okay, so yeah, so if the first time, okay, so it's they are going to um the tourists will just order the poached egg from the fast food restaurant. All right, so this is to show number one. Young people naturally gravitate towards those who are similar to them. Okay, so you can say that we have shown this. All right, so the next scene is going to be Okay, the tourists will order fish. Okay, so again, the joke is that it will be complicated. Okay, with a lot of techniques. Okay, the Malay will be a lot of spices, and they are very simple. Just chuck the fish into the prata. Okay, in 1 minute. But it's still not fast from fast food. Okay, which make fish burger with cheese. Okay, already made fridge kind of food. Okay, so what happens is there will be a sabotage. All right, so the Western owner sabotage the Chinese store by stealing ingredients from Malay and Indian store and mix with the steamed fish. Okay, so after that, okay, so audience will guess what is the name of the fish. Okay, it's actually curry fish head. So this is a good example of fusion food. Okay, it's a very famous local food. Okay, so then of course the conflict comes. All right, so and what happens is so the tourists prefer this dish. Okay, but of course the tourist is going to have a hard time trying. Okay, she will laugh, feel very indifferent. You know, what is this? What rubbish is this? But when she tried, she loved it. All right, so this is again we are able to show this. Okay, but we shouldn't be living in our own burger bubble. Okay, so at first she don't want to eat, now she wants to eat. So Faith, you have to explain this how we are able to meet this objective. Okay, so next is after that everybody get angry because of this misunderstanding. Okay, so like the Chinese will assume that the Malay and Indian sabotage him, and then the Malay will be thinking that Chinese actually steal from him and the Indian as well. Okay, so now we can ask students some questions as well. Okay, audience as okay, so here you can ask the question. Okay, why are they different? Okay, so we can ask questions. Okay, so audience will be asked. Okay, okay, maybe we can ask some questions. Okay, so this one, if not, we can skip. All right. So after that, okay, the tourists will order chicken. Okay, so right now, okay, so remember there will be a chicken here. Okay, there will be a chicken here. Okay, but there will be only one chicken. So of course the fast food restaurant will take the chicken. Everything is frozen. Okay, so they will just easily get the chicken and go and make it. But there is only one chicken here. So what happens is all three is going to try to get the chicken and they try to pull the chicken. Eventually the chicken got split. Okay, so you can have some funny scene like the Indian will get the chicken head or something. Oh yeah, this is something fun. Yeah, I'm struggling with the joke. Okay, so maybe the Indian will get the chicken head, all right, and stuff into his prata. Okay, so the Malay is going to okay, something like that. Uh, okay, so something like that. Okay, so yeah, yeah. Okay, so but they are forced to work together since the tourists ordered one chicken. Okay, so eventually they argued, and while they are arguing, okay, so we can ask students questions. Hey, no, they are distrust. Okay, why are they distrust from the show? Okay, because you don't understand each other technique, so now they are forced together. Okay, maybe one students will say, hey, maybe you should understand the person's technique. So you ask a few people until we get somehow the right answer. Okay, so once we get the right answer, so the answer we are looking out for is, for example, the Malay will say, hey, I got no money. So maybe one person will say, hey, I don't have enough money. Okay, so I want to win the competition. So she will ask the audience, what should I do? Okay, now that I don't understand, so one of the students will say, maybe you should try to understand, ask the Chinese how this works. Yeah, okay, so when one student say that, he is going to activate. So Faith and Amna, be very clear on it. You have to explain this part. Okay, so no, a lot of things we can ask from here. So Faith will need your help to build on this. There's so many things we can ask. Okay, then you can ask Why are they racial conflict? Because we don't understand each other. So how should you solve it? You should understand each other. You should listen to each other. And okay, so what happens is, okay, so we can have another part, Faith. Okay, so he can say, hey, no, I don't trust this technique. Okay, so he should say, I don't believe in this technique. So he can ask the audience, should you trust him? Okay, why? Okay, so from there, then he says that, hey, I can trust you. So again, you can see just from this part, we would have talk about trust, understanding. Okay, so we already have built these two. So Faith, your objective is to make sure and guide the Ifrat on how she is able to have all these points in her story. Okay, see that it is possible. You see, I've already done it, and we need people who can do it. All right, not someone anybody. Right, you can see Faith. Our task is very very not straightforward. Okay, only small group of people who can do it. Okay, so okay, where am I? Okay. Where am I? Okay, so eventually time is running out. They learn from each other, so they just dump everything together. Okay, so they dump everything together, and we can once again ask the students what is the food. Right, so they will actually make chicken rice. Okay, so you have to be clear. The name is called Hai Nan Nis chicken rice. I think Faith, I brought you this. This is my favorite local food. Okay, Hainanese chicken rice, and the aroma is very special. Okay, so this is the name. Okay, this is one of the famous Singapore food. All right, and it's really so it's more like the Indians actually contributed to the spices. Okay, the Malay made the rice better. Okay, and the Chinese original chicken recipe. So it's something like that. Okay, so the spices, yeah, so some of the spices you can see still is on the chicken. Okay, so all this is Indian, so it has all three ingredients. Okay, now, so eventually they won as well. Okay, so simple, they won as well. Okay, okay, so all right, so after that we will end with a few dish guessing. Okay, so the people are just going to dump their ingredients, and we are going to ask the students, see whoever can get it can win. Okay, and after that we are going to end with a music. Okay, with all the ingredients, all the cooking utensils of the store holders. Okay, so it's something like this. Okay, okay, so you can see uh, maybe this. Okay, so you can have a look over here. Okay, something along the line like this. Okay, so yeah, so it's okay, so we'll end up with this. All right, so this is the base of this story. So and now so Faith, remember, don't help her too much. Okay, I would like to see if she really is able to be our long-term writer. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so let's just give her this task first. Okay, so I'm going to send both to you. Okay, so let me save this. Okay, so this one, this is okay. Okay, so I'm going to send to use this. Okay, I'm going to paste this to you as well, Faith. Okay, so this one, do tell her that this is going to be objective. Okay, and that's all. Okay, so sorry for the last minute story again. Okay, thank you.